Hey all my people, how you doing? I hope you're having a damn good day. Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be episode 4 of the Leicester City career mode. Currently sitting in 3rd place after 10 games. Not a bad start to the season if you ask me. Definitely a much better start than what Leicester have had in real life. So yeah, I think we've done a better job than Brendan Rodgers off the bat already. But we'll take it, we'll move on. And we are looking to improve the team. And back in episode 1, there was the suggestion of signing Alexis Vega, and of course, taking everybody's choices into consideration. And I found out he was a free agent, so I was like, you know what, this is cool, this is great. And I found out that he was a 78, and I was like, wow, that is very impressive. So I decided to sign him up. But then I also decided to take a look and see if there was anybody else, really. We also then went and found Jason Denayer, of course, former Man City prospect himself, and the Mexican goalkeeper, I think it's pronounced Ochao, maybe, perhaps. I may have butchered that man's name, and I do apologize sincerely. Comment section down below, teach me how to say it, because we both know I'm not going to go research it. So anyways, Ochao is going to be our starting goalkeeper. I think he's a massive improvement over the likes of Danny Ward by miles. He's an 80 overall goalkeeper. Of course, he is 37 years old, so it does leave a little bit wanting with that age, but it does mean that maybe in January we don't have to buy or bring in a goalkeeper just yet. Maybe we can look to strengthen potentially another area. Now, that area, it remains to be seen. We'll find out in January, of course. And but very happy with our free agent signings of Alexis Vega, who's going to be a great winger for us, right wing, left wing, and he can even play as a striker. So I think Harvey Barnes and Maddison have their work cut out for them on those wing areas. And of course, Jason Denayer, not the best centre-back, 77 overall, but he is decent in terms of quality. And I mean, I said in the last episode, like, if we're going to play a back five, we're going to need a bit more depth in the centre-back department, and I think Jason Denayer provides a decent amount. I mean, he's definitely better than Vestergaard. He's got age on his side, so he'll outlast the likes of Johnny Evans. And I also like the idea that he was a Belgium international. I mean, we do have quite a few Belgian players in our team, Castagna being one of them, Yuri Tielemans another, and I think there's somebody else I could be forgetting, but of course, Wout Faes is a Belgium centre-back as well. So, yeah, we signing that Belgium contingency plan straight up. But, yeah, very happy with the free agent signings. Ochao, he starts our first game against Brentford, and we do debut our new formation of the 4-4-2. Of course, we've got Jamie Vardy and Kelechi Iheanacho starting up front. And I think this was the perfect game for the new formation, although it did leave a little bit wanting. I mean, we gave up a lot of control in the midfield, whereas before we had that midfield three, and we had more control of games, whereas in this one, yes, we had more strike force and firepower up front with our strike partnership of Vardy and Kelechi Iheanacho, and as well as likes of Harvey Barnes and Maddison on the wings. But the midfield was very badly overrun, I should say. But we did end up getting a penalty. James Maddison selling a foul really well. I was actually surprised by the animations and how everything transpired, because in previous FIFAs I feel like that wouldn't have been a penalty, but in this one there's definitely contact. There's definitely no contact on the ball, and it seemed to be a great penalty for us. And just 5 minutes into the second half, Maddison bangs one home for a 2-0 lead, the most dangerous lead in football, they say. Well, if that's anything to go by, this game proved exactly the reason why it's the most dangerous lead in football, because shortly after making our subs, Alexis Vega on the field, of course, making his debut off the bench, 69 minutes gone, the man who gave away the penalty is the man that scores the first and sets up the second, as Brian Mbuemo restores the game as a draw. And yeah, the damage was done a bit too late for us to try and get back into it, and we would unfortunately have to share the spoils, taking a point each, which did suck. It really did suck because I felt like we deserved to win. And I mean, for his debut, Ochao was quite good. He made quite a good bunch of saves. His ball distribution was a lot better than the likes of Danny Ward. I mean, Danny Ward's ball distribution was never in doubt. It's just the quality that Danny Ward possesses is not there, whereas I think O'Childs is. So I was a bit disappointed that we conceded 2 on his debut because the defense was quite lackluster. And the fact that we were playing a 4-4-2 without that holding midfielder, it did expose our 2 centre-backs in Suyonshu and Wout Faze. So, yeah, potentially need that man sitting in front of them, protecting them, shielding the back four. And moving on, though, to a derby in Nottingham Forest, we would not get off to a good start as Dennis would bang one home 25 minutes in. And we were very lackluster. I must say, this entire episode, we were very lackluster. Of course, we were trying different elements and different formations and stuff, so maybe some of the boys were just not used to it. But I felt like there was a consistent struggle with the team and trying to get them to play the way that I needed them to play in order for us to win. And it did show a lot in this episode. So, you know what? It's growing pains. Of course, this team is a work in progress, and it will continue to do so until we start winning and becoming a very big team in Leicester City. You know, we want to make sure that 2015 Premier League trophy is not the only massive trophy in our cabinet. And great goal by James Maddison, might I say. That was a superb bit of movement off the ball and an even better cross. I think it's Castagna that whips it in, and James Maddison absolutely laces it. A very acrobatic move by the Englishman. So yeah, I was very impressed, and of course it's against the likes of Dean Henderson, who, not that I can't stand him, but my word, he's got a massive mouth on him and he loves chatting the biggest BS. So for me, the fact that we were scoring these goals against him, it worked out so well. But again, in the second straight game, we would concede silly goals, goals that were unnecessary. And in this game, at least, we created more chances after we had conceded the second goal. But I think it was, again, the damage was there, it was done. And to be fair, 2-0, or being 2-1 up at least, we should probably hold our lead and move on from that. So, yeah, but moving on though to Newcastle United, we would try out a new formation, second formation change of the episode, really. Going to our back 5 system. And I think it's a good system, but it's probably going to be one of the last times you see us using the system, because it did not really help us in any way, shape or form. I mean, having a midfield 3 was great, but having a back 5 with our fullbacks attacking, kind of, not always, it just didn't work out. So yeah, I think the quality that we have at this moment in time isn't that of Chelsea, who can play a very good back 5. You know, they've got the likes of Reece James, Fofana, who they took from Leicester, Koulibaly, and of course Thiago Silva, not to mention the depth that they have coming off the bench to support those types of players. So yeah, the back 5, I don't think it was the worst. I just don't think I have the abilities to make it work with the players that we have right now. We did get back in this game though, Kelechi and Nacho making sure the game was still going to be more interesting, but just before the hour mark, I think it was Willock, Joe Willock, he conquered really, fired it into the back of the net. And we did create a few extra chances, this one hitting the damn crossbar of all things. That was a very unfortunate turn of events, but yeah, we just didn't create enough. In this game, I need more chances to be an effective player, and I'm not at that level yet. I mean, obviously FIFA 23 has just come out. I'm not at the level yet to be like, I only need 3 chances and I'll score 3 goals, you know? So, yeah, it is what it is. But my stubborn dumbass, I should say. We're going to continue with the back 5. We're going to Stamford Bridge and we're going to make it happen. This is what stubbornness gets you, people. It gets you L's, because don't get me wrong, Chelsea at this moment in time, not the best team in the world, but they have got a lot of good quality up front. They've got Aubameyang, they've got Sterling, they've got Mason Mount. In the midfield, they've got great players like Kovacic and Kante and all these great players, Jorginho. So, of course, it's going to be a mission, and it's at home for them. So, we are going to have to be on our absolute best. And I mean, James Maddison flaunting his wealth of talents with an outside of the boot shot, almost getting the better of Mendy, but of course Mendy is equal to it. He is a very good saving goalkeeper, not very good with his feet though. We've seen that rarely. But yeah, it was bound to happen. They had been creating chance after chance. And it's just a simple Ziyech cross to Mason Mount to the back of the net. And yeah, I must say our free agent signings are not looking the best right now. Not because they've been bad, but because we haven't had the best run of form since signing them. I mean, Ochao hasn't really done anything wrong. I mean, maybe the Sterling goal he could have done a bit better, but in saying that, he still hasn't done anything wrong, and we've been conceding these goals. So, I mean, in this episode alone, we've drawn our first two, lost the previous one, and we're on course to lose the fourth one. So, yeah. And also at halftime, the formation was not working. I decided to just change things up a bit, go with a 4-4-2 or 4-2-2-2, I think. And immediately in the second half, it did produce a lot better when it came to producing results. The way we were playing in the second half, if we had played that way in the first half, I think this game could have been a different game. Bringing on the likes of Jamie Vardy as well as Harvey Barnes, they did bring a bit more life into the game. And we did get one back at least just before the 70th minute mark. Jamie Vardy, of course, he is such a good player for us, such an amazing talent. It's a pity at his age because we will be needing him, but he is going to start fading fairly soon. But yeah, we need a bit more consistency in this team if we're going to try and be a better team going forward. If we're going to try and take on the big boys, break into that top six, we need to have more consistency. But it is what it is, guys. But I do hope you have enjoyed this episode, and if you have, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new.